Show, folks. All right, this is Wayne again. So, are you a hater? That came to my mind. That came to my mind to start it like that. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I started the show like that, right? I gotta make sure I put everything up. I'm early, but I'm just gonna rap a little bit with you guys before I get started. I'm setting myself up, getting my brains together, starting to do stuff so I don't. I'm testing out different things to make sure I kind of keep myself, in flow. All right. But yeah, a sales guy just came by the house, right? And he was selling. I guess he was selling the service, home, home remodeling, and I think maybe the way the ad normally would probably play to hire guys to do that job would be like home remodeling, but it's really to try to get the roof fixed and all that stuff, and it goes around, and then the lines start the same way. I mean, it's a neighborhood. I'm doing business with a customer across the street. We all learn the same thing in sales, especially when you're going door to door and it's some people encourage it. I don't encourage lying to a customer, but the guy may have just showed up in the neighborhood, and the line would be, hey man, because a person feel more comfortable if they feel that you did business with someone around. So you'll hear the line. I was just talking to one of the neighbors on the road, and we're working. We're giving them a quote, an estimate, whatever, and we just figured we'd come by and say hi to you. And then even better, if you knock the door on the neighbors and you say, "Do you know Susie across the street?" Yeah, But the reason why I started out like that is because if you're like the kind of person that is like a real to your core kind of a hater of people, whether it's race or gender or whatever the nonsense is that people push, sales is a good cure. Okay, talk to your doctor and ask if sale is right for you. Sales a good cure, because man, you cannot. I mean, there's a couple of things that would stop you from being successful in sales, right? But what it does to if you're gonna be successful, okay, you could probably still be prejudiced, right? You could probably have like prejudging. That's what prejudice is, right? You could prejudge people, because I'll be honest with you, I did that, right? I did that when you go to a home and it may not look as nice or whatever. You may, I don't know, man. I don't know how the credit is here. You prejudge it, right? We do it all the time. We do it all the time. We used to have this saying called QEB, quick, easy business, right? QEB, right? So you have to be careful you don't get lost in a QEB neighborhood. That's what they call it. It's kind of it's a negative way to put it, but and it is what it is. Quick, easy business is what it is, right? But it's not profitable. Okay, so if we went into quick, I normally would have done that to boost morale, get some quick sales for some guys, let them know you can do it, and then let's move on, because you can't stay here. You're not gonna make any money here. But so you could probably have prejudice about people, but you can't truly be hardcore racist and be in sales, right? Can't really be that kind of person. You can't. Let's say, for example, let's say you're a person that don't believe women can make their own decision or whatever, right? And honestly, if you're in a couple, if you guys have an agreement that she buys whatever she wants, he buys whatever she wants, or she handles the budget. So if she buys something, I trust it, or she handles the house. It's teamwork, right? She handles the house, I handle the house size. If I want to buy a lawnmower, I'll buy it. She'll buy the stuff for the house. But if you're like a real, like they look to label people misogynist, it's hard to do that and then try to sell a woman alone, because you truly in your heart believe that she can do nothing by herself, her husband. So sales is a cure, man. This guy was very good. He came by, he talked to me. The reason I really didn't like those kind of quick sales stuff is because you don't get to build a proper rapport. You don't have enough time to build a proper rapport, because you're at the door and people are like dude, I'm just waiting for you to go. But if you got invited in, then the mindset is to settle, right? And then that settle allows you to do a romance or warm up, and you guys get to know each other. You get to talk about fishing, boating, whatever. And then, all right, hey, you know what, Mr. Johnson, let me start showing you what I got. But the guy was good. I have to give him props. I forgot his name, but he was good. He was leading to the next question. I was like, dude, man, I'll be honest with you. No, I'm not gonna take it. I don't want to waste your time. But man, you're good at what you do. He looked like he could be from another country. I'm not sure, but he was very sharp, very pleasant. He asked on my video channel, so I told him that it is. All right, it's officially 1 o'clock or one after 1 or something like that. It's officially 1 o'clock. So all the banter's gone. Let me get right into what I'm doing here. But for those of you in sales, keep it up. You know, keep it up. But I tell you, it's a cure. It's a cure for a whole lot of stuff. I was very introverted before I got into sales, and I still am to some extent. But I've learned to talk to myself and get myself to move. Right? I learned to get myself to ask. You know, I wasn't the one that would go to a stranger and, you know, say, hey, listen, you know, what's the, you know, can you take care of this for me, right? Or what is this? Can I go there? Or what's your name? You know, I didn't have game in school. Trust me. All right, I didn't have no lines. I hardly tell jokes properly. But anyway, for those of you who've done it, you guys, big up to you. Anyone in customer service, anyone in a business where you have to deal with people directly, I'm telling you, I give you lots of props because people are difficult. Some people are really haters. And, you know, there's a couple, if you're a certified, you know, cynicism consultant, if you want to say it differently, you know, you're a full-time fault finder, then, you know, you may not find certain businesses right for you. Anyway, here we go. So, one of my guys, let me open up the, you know what? Let me answer a couple of questions first. A new computer's coming today. So, this is probably, I don't know, I may do this format again. I'm not sold on the image quality, using the phone. Like I said, I have a couple of videos on my channel that now when I look back on them, the what do you call it? The visuals are almost like they found an old film footage from like, you know, like the 70s or something, and it was like sitting in a mildew type of basement, and now they pull it out and they're gonna put it on, and you know, that's what it looks like. I'm like, God, damn, this thing doesn't even survive 4 years. I mean, you know, so I'm gonna be careful filming with the front-facing camera. I have to use it like that because you know, you want to know that you're in the spot. But anyway. But let me answer a couple of questions. But I have my new computer. It's like a gaming computer to an extent because the graphic cards were very powerful and CPU and all that stuff. So I took my son's advice and I got one of those. And let's get rocking and rolling. All right. Where am I? Let me answer a couple of questions from the comments. Okay, and let's see if I can help someone out. Okay, so I think I responded to this one, but I still want to share it with you guys, and we'll move on. Okay, I want to open this. I just got this package. One of our viewers. I did business with this guy before. He's a collector, collect vacuums, and I just want to open it. I might as well open it on camera for you guys. He collects a lot of vacuums. He has some good looking Kirby vacuums. I don't know if he's okay with me sharing the photos. I'll do it when I set up my computer next week, maybe. But Kirby gave gold Kirby's to, well, I don't think they gave them. There's a couple of campaigns that you have to win a gold Kirby, or you achieve a certain amount of sales, and you get a gold Kirby. Gold plated. And he had a few of those. I was like, dude, where you get that from, right? Not too many distributors want to give up their gold Kirby's, man. Dude, what'd you do? You know, who'd you bribe? But so I'm going to be refurbishing this one. Just, polishing, cleaning up and stuff like that. You know, if a screw is rusty, you know, replace it or, you know, shine it up, whatever. And wash the bags, you know, really kind of get into it. I'm gonna do a good job on this one, nice and easy. And I wanted to open it up, but he's one of the guys that view our channel, so enough respect to him, and I really appreciate doing business. And we'll move on from there. But anyway, here we go. All right, so now I was this video. Let me turn this off, man. This is my little mini ear, but the noise is so damn loud. I can't. You see that? You probably hear a difference in the sound. Okay, don't forget, visit Monroevacuums.com. You want some parts? Okay, you can visit our GM art shirts. You want a cool shirt? There's no mulligans needed. It's just a state of mind about the way you approach your responsibilities, your task. That's all. It doesn't mean that you don't take second chances, because that's what a mulligan is. You get a second shot at golf. I got a tournament coming up, all right, so I got to go practice for that. But the attitude is, let's not go into it. Like I tell my kids when they take tests in school, they go into it thinking that they can do a do-over. And in elementary, middle school, the teachers were like, yeah, well, you could take a makeup test. And it's like, no, dude, don't get accustomed to let me just half-ass it because I can take a makeup test. Now go in with an attitude that you don't have a second chance, and I got to do it right the first time. So that's kind of, it's an attitude. That's all. Now, other people who's into golf, they may challenge you like, really? You don't need mulligans? How good do you play? So, and I'm not the best golfer. So imagine wearing this shirt. Anyway, let's move on. All right, so how about when you squeeze the trigger and nothing is spraying out of the carpet, how do you fix that? Okay, nothing is spraying out to the carpet, all right? And this is for Richard. Well, all right, Richard. I tried to explain it in typing, but I think words are so much better to just tell you. Hopefully, Richard get to see this. And it's a Bissell Revolution again, Pet Pro leaking, and he squeezed the trigger. All right. So now there's a step order of that you go through. Okay, Richard. You check your trigger. All right. And some of you, if you've heard this already, then okay, check your trigger. Check your trigger, okay? If the trigger don't have any resistance to it, okay, like when you squeeze it, you don't feel like it's actually pushing, like you have to put a little pressure to squeeze it. If it's just like, you know, if it's limp, right? Then the trigger might be broken, okay? If you press the trigger and you do feel that tension and it's not spraying, what I told him to do, the simplest thing to do without having to take your machine apart right now, anyway, is the slider on the side of the Revolution. It's on the right side. Okay, it controls the stream of solution, whether it's strong. A lot of cleaners have them now. You know, you could rinks, full or whatever, right? That's what that's for. So push it all the way to max. Okay, for now. And test your hose, okay? So what you do is you hook up your hose. Now, the moment you put your tank on the Bissell Revolution, okay, the hose water is flowing. You don't need to squeeze the trigger. So if the tank is good, okay, if the reservoir or the auto receiver is good, the hose is going to spray. You see how you do a process of elimination? So the hose is going to spray. So check the hose. Put the hose in, check it. The same thing with a lot of other shampoos. If you are not spraying on the floor, you want to see if your pump is working, okay? Try to pump through the hose, all right? And then you can now focus your attention on the floor. Like, okay, I must have a clog down there. Or maybe if it's a solenoid type of vacuum shampoo, maybe my solenoid needs replacing. Okay, so that's you do the step-by-step. Deal, does that make sense? Like that, all right? And then beyond that, because the floor on the Bissell Revolution should just be free-flowing, okay? It should just flow out, man. And if not, then it's possible your auto receiver is jammed up. Again, your handle. The tank is probably the number one culprit. If you've ever used hot water in your tank, the tank will get slightly warped, just enough for it to not sit flush on the shampoo, and then all of a sudden, no water's coming out. So even if you stick your finger up in the stick your finger up. Even if you stick your finger up in the thing like this, look, I'm human, man. And I grew up with a bunch of sales dudes, and I was just talking to my, I was talking to my wife about it, and I'll say, those guys were funny, man. I work with some of the funniest people in the world back in the day, man, and they cracked on everything. Everybody was fair game. Okay, I just saw a meme about oh my God, what is it again? You know the the guy from James Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man, the actor, I forgot his name, but when he's laughing, ha ha ha, right? And the meme was, and then they had Joffrey from Game of Thrones, and he was up top like, oh my God, and the guy at the bottom was just like, ah ha 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 ha, right? So the top picture is Gen Z or Gen X or whatever, watching, oh my God, Blazing Saddles. Oh my God, I can't believe. And then the guy at the bottom is like, just laughing at it, right? And you think about it, the stuff that we laughed at, the stuff that was funny for us, the stuff that we did, that's why I love Mad Men. Mad Men, that show is great. And we look back on this like, damn, are we that soft today? We are very soft. I think I am a little bit too compared to where I was before. And because there were things like I would do as a kid, I wouldn't let my son do. I was like, dude, no, you're not going there. No. No, stay home, bro. But anyway, let's go back to this. Sorry to take you down the road here. Yeah, so even though you press the trigger, you press the thing here, when you press this, right, water's going to come out, watch, right? See that? Okay, water comes out. But this one, it sits flat. This is a Hoover. This sits flat. So I'll be honest, I don't think there's a whole lot of room for warping on these. The tank feels like hard plastic, right? I'm not saying Hoover's better than Bissell or anything. I'm just talking the way the tank reacts to hot water, and the way it forms, right? So that stuff would warp. It only needs a little bit of warping, and forget it. You can't get any. So I would recommend getting, if you have a friend that have a tank similar to yours, you don't have to buy one. Just get one real quick to test it. Okay. I have the privilege of having different parts. So sometimes the easiest repair is for me to test what I have with another one, take off a nozzle, put another one on, see if it works. Then then in my mind, all right, I know that nozzle works, and it's not working. That means electricity is not getting to the nozzle. Okay, all right, and I think that's it. I think that's all I can manage today to answer, and hopefully I did a good job explaining this to you. I have a Hoover Power Scrub. I have a spray problem with that, so I'm going to cover that with you guys. I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm going to find out live here what's going on. And I'll try to tackle that the best I can, and then we have this. All right, let's unbox this. His was messed up, right? People do gags, or there's people who are not good people, right? I've already done business with this guy before, so I know he wouldn't. Well, I'm assuming he wouldn't put like something in here, but I'm doing this on live, so if there was something in here, it would happen. You say, what happened to the feed? Happened to the feed, dude. Oh my gosh. You get dead body parts. So you do it live, man. It's like, oh my gosh. All right, let me move over to chat, because chat's been closed to my eyes. Let me do that real quick. So if someone do have something to say, I'm gonna be able to say it live. I'm using my little mousy thing here. I have a whole nother monitor up here, but my cameras cannot work with this little computer I have, so I have to use the cell phone here. Okay, let me go in here. Okay, and let's open up this pop. Oh my God, what happened? What happened? What happened? What's going on? Are you kidding? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, I think I know what it is. I gotta sign out. Oh my God, forget it, man. No, let's not forget it. Give me a second, folks. Just bear with me. I don't want to forget it. I'm not gonna give up. You're not gonna get me like that. I'm a little stubborn that way, guys, and it probably came from fighting the elements. Like when I was in New York, man, we had to we had to go to school in the guys, anyone who lives up north know what I'm talking about. And the rest of the country is maybe Midwest or up further, anyway, close to Canada. Those guys, everybody knows what's going on. People in Canada knows what's going on. Dude, you can't. There's no stop. You gotta go. You gotta go. You know, you gotta go. That's it. So it doesn't matter how high the snow is, you're going. Go to school, buddy. So you develop a dogged attitude about things that, and you're gonna grind things out, man. You know, it's just an attitude, and that's the attitude I developed over years, and hopefully you have one of those too, guys. All right, here we go. I look like I'm in. Look like I'm in. Okay. Hey, Larry. What's going on, buddy? Larry's cool. What's going on, Larry? What is up, my friend Larry? Larry is not a hater, that's for sure. He's not a professional. He's not a professional hater. What's another name we can do here for the haters? Here you have a negativity specialist, right? Negativity specialist. The nicest way to tell someone that they're a hater. It's not good for you. It's not good for your health to be a hater, man. Let me see what this looks like. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh. Am I that weak? Damn. Or is tape that good? I was just rewatching Well, I never watched Lost in the first place, so I don't say. Let me not say rewatch, but I was rewatching that particular episode. I remember the guy saying, "I don't have a lot of faith, but I have faith in duct tape." I was like, "That's cool." He said, "Duct tape will hold." Okay. Ah, all right. Looked like someone tried to buff it already. Okay. All right. Looked like someone tried to buff it already. All right. Trust me, man. Trust me. You're going to be. I think somewhat impressed by my approach. I think you'll like the work I'm gonna do. You know, I think so. But having it like this makes the job a whole lot easier, though. I tell you that much. It does make it a whole lot easier. Okay. All right. Fantastic. This old school Kirby, guys. This is gonna be it's gonna be work, but it's gonna be fun because when you see your results, you know, that's the joy you get out of being able to fix things or cook or paint, you know. Or for some people, their fun is a lot bigger, like making money. They turn a dollar into like $1,000, and I was like, you know, they love the skill. It's not even the money for some folks; it's the skill that they have. They can turn money at any time. I mean, I wonder if you have to look at it as sport if you want to be good at it. If you want to be any good at making money, I guess you have to treat it like sport. You know, I guess how those guys treat stocks, you know. I guess if you get into stock and you're desperate, you're not going to have fun, and you're not going to kind of approach it with that kind of like cunning, you know, like, yeah, baby. Yes. You see that? You see that? Let's sneak up on it and snatch it. That's the attitude. Huh. Okay. You know what's funny about this brush? The brush is actually, look at the length of this brush. If you ever want to know how long your bristles should be, this is a healthy, it looks like it's as old as the machine, right? The brush. And I may be wrong, but the length is still very good. Okay. All right. All right. That's it. I just did my little open package reveal. I'm going to have some fun working on this. and I'm gonna have some positive results. Yes, I have one of these at the shop, similar to this. Okay, and yeah, this is gonna be fantastic, man. Okay, I can't wait to dive in. All right, let's put this over here. All right, let's get to my Hoover. That's what you've been waiting for. You know what? I probably should do the Shark first, because I think the Shark is going to be the fastest. So let me run through the Shark, okay, and see what the deal is. Let me see what the deal is. What does it say here? The nozzle. All right, so we have a nozzle problem. Okay. Well, let's see what's going on. All right. Let's check it out. So if you have a Shark, let's see if we can rapid fire this. All right. Okay, so, all right. What I like to do, guys, I like to test suction first with the hose, because what it does, it allows me to see that this part is doing its job. And if you notice with the Sharks, right, what sits right below it, okay, is a filter. Normally, this is right on top of the motor. Okay, hold on. I think Larry's saying something here. Sorry, Larry. Larry was like, Larry gave me a whole lot of pretty cool advice. I'm gonna see if I can blow this up so I can see it better. Let me see. Can I blow this up? No, they don't let me blow it up. Okay. Yes. You know what? Yeah, I'm doing good, Larry. I'm doing fantastic, man. Yes, the Kirby. He sent me a Kirby, and he, we talk prices and stuff like that, and he shipped it, and I'm gonna do the work, and then I'll ship it back. That's it. Now I did that a lot, years ago. Guys would just ship out Kirby's to me constantly, and I just buff them, and just ship them back. I haven't done a lot in the last year. Okay, I buff like local customers, but not online. So this is probably the first, within a year that I've got back that I got to do. So I'm ready. Okay. So anyway, normally if these things are clogged up, and this is clogged up, it starts right here. Okay, the suction is not going to go any further. It's not going to help, because you won't build up suction inside your dustbin, right? So what I would do is I start with the hose, right? Now let's say you turn the hose on. This you don't have any suction. Let me just turn on this. Okay. Now, if I didn't have suction here, the first thing I'm looking to see, because this section here of a Shark gets clogged up fast. Okay, so I would look here, and if you don't have anything professional, normally stuff with a drill at one end, and you have the kind of, you can go and pull stuff out. Get like an iron hanger, and make it a little rigid kind of deal, or maybe put a little hook on it, whatever, and then pop that in there and just kind of pull it out. Just don't be careful when you do that and go down too far, because you can, if you're not careful with that kind of stuff, you can poke a hole in your hose if you're kind of brutish about it, All right. And then the next thing I would do, if I didn't have suction there, and I would check right here, what you could do is take this off and check the suction right here. So now this section is good, the motor is good, the suction is good, and then you start moving your way down. Okay, so it's just a process of elimination. All right. So now we know that's good. All right, next thing, let's check this. Okay, the easiest thing is to go like that. Okay, all right, we can see all the way through. Great, no problem. All right, I'm a peek down in there. I don't see anything down there. Okay, great. Let's move on. All right, you see how that works? After a while, you just have you have a method. You just run through it real quick. So then you go your next step. Turn your machine on. Feel the suction right here. Okay, hold on. See that? So, where's my little paper? Okay. Let me turn it on. I'm hitting something up top there. Okay. Now, if you are rapid fire, you're like, man, you can start down here and work your way back up if you want. If you started here, you know you got suction, you know that all of this is fine. Okay? Yeah. All right, next up, let's go to the nozzle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this whole body from here. Okay, let's get this out of the way. So now the only thing left, if she's having a problem picking up, is going to be the nozzle. Okay? Now, so far look at it. Now, this don't really mean much, but it can make you think there's a lot more problem than not because of the way it looks. But then you look underneath and, you know, it looks clear, but it's not. It's a deception. All right. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's check right here. Okay. And I still may go in there because I may want to clean it out for the person, but I'm not going to do it on the air, right? Because this is a lot. It's if I don't have to go in. If I have to go in, I'm gonna go all the way in. All right. Okay. Nah, this is not that much of a problem. This should not be that much of a problem. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Look. This little bit is not enough to clog the whole thing. Okay, can you see me? Can you see the white wall, the wall in the back? Yep, you see that? So this is fine, right? Okay, let's keep moving. Look my trash can. All right. Oh, where are my gloves? Gosh, look what I did, man. I start wearing my gloves again. It's Larry. Larry's like, where's your glove? Got my gloves, Larry. Got my steel on. Okay. All right, so let's keep rocking and rolling. All right. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna open up this thing here. Well, let's see. Let me not open up first. Let me go here. No, there's nothing here. Okay. Well, then suction shouldn't be an issue then, right? Okay. Because anything, if I go inside, is cosmetic. Okay. And if I go inside here, it's all cosmetic, guys. It's just to clean it up. You know, get the pet hairs and all that stuff out of here. You know, look at all this, but it's not enough to clog it up. All right, or to stop it from cleaning. So let's see. Maybe we're just not getting a signal down to the head. Maybe the head is not getting any electricity. And it might be a circuit board issue. Let's see. Let's put this on here again. All right. I don't need the hose. I don't need the hose because I'm not trying to check for suction anymore. It's just on the floor right there. Okay, so what I'm looking for is this green light to come on. Right here. Where is it at? Right here. And I'm looking for the brush to spin. And if that's not happening, then we got an issue, okay? So let's see what we have. No, we don't have an issue. Look, it's spinning. Let me turn it up. It's spinning. Well, we didn't find a fountain of youth, but you guys got to see me go through what do you call that? Troubleshooting. We didn't find the trouble. There's no trouble. Okay, so don't shoot me. All right, so let's keep rocking and rolling. Let's keep it rolling then. Let's keep rocking and rolling. All right. Okay, let me see something. Hey, I gotta congratulate my son, Ethan. If you ever went to my landing page, YouTube landing page, you'll see me with two boys. The tallest one is Emmanuel. Little guy is Ethan. They're both giants now. And Ethan won his award from his baseball team, and It's the most improved player, but I'm proud of him for it because I saw how hard he worked to get his batting right, his fielding and stuff like that, and your kids are different. They're different. One of them is more aggressive than the other. One is more vocal than the other. One is more athletic than one. But they're both pretty good. Both very smart kids. Every parent may think that. Well, not every parent. Some parents are like, "Nah, man, we're not wasting college money on you, man. You've already showed us that. You're gonna save us a lot of money." Oh, that was my accent from the guy I ran into the other day. The guy I ran into. Did I tell you about this, man? Okay, I'll tell you about it while I'm working on this thing. The thing, the way it happened, bro. The way it happened, I may have told you already, but the way it happened was incredible. It was incredible, man. The series of things that had to happen. If I already told you, then great. If not, then you're gonna learn something new. The series of things. Are you really? Dude, do it, bro. Do it. Hello, Sydney. Hello. Cheers from Brazil. Are you kidding me? Positive. Sydney Carlos. Well, man. Cheers from America. Brazil. Awesome. You're very close to my wife's from Guyana. So just up the road from you guys, all right? Or down the road. Depends on how you look at the map. Look at that. All right. But yeah, the series of things that had to happen for me to run into my neighbor. She was stuck. She was about to hit the highway and a car shut off. And I'm here, guys, I'm messing with this thing here. I'm here like I went to do a favor for my sister-in-law. Went to the house. There's a guy, 81 years old, needed help with his light bulb, right? His fluorescent and a tall ladder. He need help. I was like, yeah, I'll help him out. But she said, you don't have to go today, right? You don't have to go today. You can go whatever. I said, nah, Mondays are the best time. I can pick up my kid, the whole deal. And I can get it after school. I may have told the story already this week because it happened like 3 days ago. And what? So I got there and the light bulb doesn't work. So I'm like, oh my God, all right, well, no problem. I was a negative. I said, sir, I'll be more than happy to come back. If I had the time, I probably would have went to the store, got the light bulb for him and bring it back. But I didn't have the time. So I was like, golly, I gotta get going, right? So I got out, me and my son, right? Because I picked him up from school. I'm leaving. I'm here like, man, I used to drive without GPS, man. Now, what am I using the GPS? I don't need GPS to get out of here, So I made a wrong turn, of course. And, well, not of course, but, I made a wrong turn because I didn't use the map. Back in the day, we had our maps. I didn't use the map to get there, so I don't have a memory, like working memory. I was listening to the damn phone tell me where to go. Make a left, make a right, make a left. So I didn't pay attention the way I should. How's that? And so then the route back, if I knew I made a right to get in, I would know I'll have to make a left to get out, right? That would have been the thing, but I forgot all that. So I made a turn and I made a wrong turn. And then I had to get on the highway. And I was like, oh, shit, man, I got to make a U-turn, bro. I got to go down this road and make a U-turn and get back. And I made a U-turn and we're in back of a car and we're like, man, are they having a conversation on the road? Are you kidding me? And my son is like, oh my God, people, I can't believe they're doing this, right? Because he's getting his permit. So he's very focused on the proper etiquette in the road, that kind of thing. So we're having a conversation about it. And then the lady left, another person went around the car and, oh shit, the car's stuck. We pulled up and we looked down. I'm like, holy cow. Hey, hi, what's going on? What happened? Oh my God. Okay. All right. You know what? Let me drive. I'm gonna drive across the highway, across the street. Well, it's a local highway, so it's not like interstate, right? Highway 74. Okay. So I drove across the street, went to a parking lot. I said, Ethan, man, we're gonna have to go and push her out of there, man. We can't leave her there, He said, all right, Dad, but you know, we're not gonna get hit. I said, no, man, just trust me, man. I know how to cross the street. I lived in New York, man. I know how to cross the street, you know? So, so, so we waited till the car clear and we pushed the car out the way. And I was like, holy cow, man. What would it take for all this stuff to happen the way it did? I could have simply said, okay, great. You know, tell them I'll come next week. Done. I wouldn't. Someone else would probably be there to help her out. But we're her neighbor, so we have a. We're waiting. We're waiting till the tow truck come. We're taking our time because, you know, she used to watch my kids after school, and she still lives right across the street. But she said, man, oh my God, these things always happen to me. And I was like, you know, it's funny. There's something called Murphy's Law, you know, worst possible thing happened, worst possible time. She said, oh my God, I just learned that phrase. And I guess she's going to start using it. I said, look, but wait. The only thing that can counteract Murphy's Law, honestly, because this Murphy's Law is random, right? It's not like, you know, tomorrow I plan to have Murphy's Law, right? So another random thing. And I said, Providence then, right? You don't have to be religious. You can say coincidence because it's random, right? You can say whatever you want, but I said Providence, right? Because that was the combat. You can't prepare properly for a Murphy's Law scenario. I hope I'm using the right term also. The worst possible thing at the worst possible time. Or is it the Peter principle? No, I think it's Murphy's Law. Damn it. Anyway, correct me, Larry, if I'm wrong. Sydney, which one is it? Is it Murphy's Law or Peter Principle? If you can probably do a search. I can't do a search right now. And I said Providence is the only thing that combat that. Now, last thing before I get back to this. Don't worry, we got time. Last thing. The dude that showed up, okay? It was a white guy, tattoos everywhere. And I mean, looked like hardcore dude, right? Like it's very easy to prejudge, but I'm trained to. I've eliminated a whole lot of my prejudgment. How's that? I've eliminated any kind of, you know, prejudice against people because of color and all this stuff. I can't even have that, right? It doesn't work. My family, everybody, you know, brother-in-laws, all that stuff, they're all from everywhere. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, we didn't have no quota. Man, we don't have enough, you know, Italians in our family. We need to go out and get an Italian. We didn't do that. It just happens, right? So, so the guy was like, hey, man, what's going on? I said, hey, what's going on? He said, man, I'm all right. I'm here. He said, I might be white, but I'm all right. I was like, oh, dude, you're funny, man. So he's the one that gave me the joke about his kid and about college. That's why I even brought that up. And said, I already told my son, man, we're not going to waste that money on you, bro. You better go get a job. He had me cracking up. But you know what stood out with him? He kept saying to my name, he said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No problem, ma'am. I'll take care of it, man. The dude was so respectful, man. And I'm telling my son, I say, look, I keep telling you, Ethan, this is, you speak to anyone who is an elder to you. You lead with the most formal introduction type of way of communicating with it. You don't dumb what? You know, you don't do that. What? Well, yeah, you know, you don't do that, right? You don't do it with your mom, and so I have to keep checking him if he tries, you know, speaking to her, especially if he's playing a video game and he's like, what? You know, hey, don't talk to mom like that, dude. Shut So, but this guy showed up and he showed her the utmost respect, man. And I was like, man, this guy is all right, man. I mean, his mom, he had to have learned that from home and then brought it out into the world. And the way he conducted his business, if he was making money off a commission or bonuses, this guy would clean up, okay? If not, the company should give him a raise. Just the way he communicated with customers, period. Because he made me laugh. He was thinking on the spot. He was doing DIY. Man, I have an idea, man. And I was like, dude, that's just, I think that, man, I'm just, you know, I do the same thing. So anyway, I'm done. But that was an incredible event that I probably will never forget. I'll never forget that, the way it went down. The way it went down was something else. Okay, so we got some water in here, guys. Okay? All right? And I'm going to test this real quick. I'm gonna press up in this. There's a spring. You don't buy this for they don't sell this. They don't sell this part. A lot of people ask about this. They don't sell it. I tried one time. I was really creative with one. I mean, dude, and when I said tried, one of the old ones, they didn't have like a compartment up here. You saw it straight through. So I was able one time to do like rig it and get an old one out and, and pop, but these are not set up to do that. So, if this was busted, there's nothing, you just have to get a new tank. Okay. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna press here to see if water comes out. Okay. Yeah, water come out, but it doesn't seem to be flowing though. Let me press it for a long period of time. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. The water don't seem to be, and it could be because it's not a lot of water in it. We'll look into this, okay? So what he was saying is that when he pressed the trigger, the water wasn't flowing down to the floor. So I want you guys to see this all the way. I'm gonna try to tilt my camera down. I'm gonna take this thing apart. We just worked on one of these the other day, but this customer bought it in the other. So I want to do it again, and let's see. Okay, let's see what's causing this thing not to do that. So what I'm gonna do right now. I took this apart. Watch this now. Let me show you something. Let me show you what I'm gonna do. I took apart the. Let me show you. I took this apart. Okay. These can only fit one way. Okay. This is the reservoir right here. Okay. This can only fit in the small tube and in the big tube. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave this off. Okay. I'm gonna put the water tank on here. I'm gonna squeeze the trigger. Okay. And the trigger's gonna push. The reservoir looks like this, guys. This is from the other machine I was messing with the other day. This is the reservoir. Okay. All right. These are the two tubes. See that? Okay. And when you sit the tank, sorry. When you sit the tank on this, okay? Let's turn it this way. When you sit the tank on this, it pokes, it did what my finger just did, right? Okay, it goes like that. Okay. Now you see how this is already starting to pour out, but probably not enough. Something is going on, and I know this reservoir works. I'm thinking the problem is this tank. So I'm gonna repeat this. I'm gonna repeat this this thing here. I'm gonna put it on here like this. Okay. And the water, again, like I said, the water should already be pouring out. Okay, I don't see it pouring out. It's dripping out, but it's not pouring out, and that's not enough to clean a carpet. Now, but I'm gonna press the trigger. The water pouring out is the one that goes directly to the quick connect. Just like the Bissell, when I mentioned earlier that the hose water just flows. You don't need to squeeze the trigger because the trigger is in the hose handle, right? And the moment you connect your hose, that water just continues to the hose. So when you press your hose trigger, the water shoots out, right? But your trigger for the carpet is right here. Okay, so that water stays at bay until you squeeze that trigger. So I'm gonna squeeze this trigger and let's see if the water flows out. Okay, all right. Now I may have to go put more water in this, so I'm still reserving my decision because I don't know if I have enough water to properly conduct this. So let's try real quick. Okay, all right. So now I'm gonna lift this up again. Okay. All right. Well, it's dripping, but just not, like I said, just not enough. I'm gonna cover this real quick. I covered the hose tube, but I left the carpet tube open right here. This one. So that means when I squeeze that trigger, the water should just flow down. All right. Let's see. You ready? Squeeze the trigger. Okay. It's dripping, but just like I said. I don't know. It doesn't seem like enough to shampoo the carpet. It seems like it's coming out real light. So I'm going to try this technique again. I have another tank here. It doesn't fit on this, but it's similar. It's a Hoover tank. Okay. And let me see how this Hoover tank react to this, because we tried it with this one, right? So again, like I think the problem is the tank. I could be wrong. It could just be the water pressure is not. There's not enough water in it. Okay. And I'm gonna retest that, and if there is water in it, I mean, if it does spray, then the problem is further down. Okay, and the part next to the brush, right below the block. Okay, you ready? All right. Let's do it. Wash. Okay, we have kind of the same amount of water. I guess I was being stingy on water, wasn't I? Now, the moment you press this button here, which is the trigger pushes down on a rod. It presses this to release the water. Okay, but it is one of these sections don't need that. One section, the water is going to flow no matter what. The moment this goes on, the water flows. The other one requires you to press this. The one that sits right, it sits right. See that? This is the floor. This is the trigger. This water, it goes in and it's just going to come down. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's test it out. Okay. All right. I'm going to now sit it. I'm going to see that it's like, it's not there yet. I'm going to sit it on it. All right. Hold on. Let me do it right. Okay. Okay. All right. It seems okay, right? It seems almost like the other one, right? So the tank might be, it might not be, okay? Because that one got a little bit of water, okay? It wasn't zero water, it's a little bit of water, right? Let's go further, okay? So, God, I wish my son can hear me because he have his headphones on right now. He don't have school today. And if you could hear me, I would yell out to him, give me more water. Should have prepared for this, right? Should have got more water. Let me, allow me, please, let me see something. Allow me, guys, to leave the camera for a second, okay? You can see all my trash over here. I'm gonna leave the camera for a second. I want to put more water in this. You know, I'm only gonna leave for a second. I'm gonna call my son, and he's gonna do this for me. I'm not gonna leave you guys hanging. Give me a second. Ethan, hey, I need you to put water in this. Okay? Here, put it in this section here for this, and this section for this. Okay? And bring it back to me. Okay? Let me get it. Just no, put it like here, half it. Okay. All right. Thank you. What do you think you got kids for? To eat all your food? No, man. Cut the grass. Stuff like that. Pass it on. You know, pass on the genes. I was telling someone that it's a natural organism behavior, right? We're organisms. It's a natural behavior for us to want for our gene to pass on as a survival. Just think of survival of a cell in your body. You know, even a cancer cell. Those guys want to produce like crazy, right? They're just having a whole bunch of hanky-panky, right? The dirty kind, because cancer's dirty. You know? Thank you, sir. Wow, dude, you're awesome. You're the best. I mean, look at that, huh? Look at that. He really could have half-assed the job, right? He got me some good shampoo. Here. Thank you, son. Thank you. All right, so what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna skip forward, and I'm going to put this right on top of that. I'm gonna hook back up the hose, and we're gonna press it again and see if, now that we have a good amount of water in this thing, let's see if it comes out of the brush section of the floor, if it comes out. Okay, all right, let's check it. And if it does, you still found out how to slowly but surely problem solve your shampooer. Just take it, steps at a time. That's my approach, okay? And the idea is to go back to the beginning. What's the start of this movement? Okay? The start is the water got to come out of the tank. You know what I mean? If it's suction, the start, if I'm trying to test the suction of my shampooer, the start is, do I have suction? Oh, do I have suction at the base right here? Great. What's the next step? The suction is going to go to the tank. Okay, great. Well, let's see what's happening with the tank. Okay, and then the next thing is the suction got to travel down here. You see what I'm saying? So that's my approach to a lot of this problem solving. Okay, it's not there's no real, mystery. Okay, hold on. I'm attaching that tubing. Okay, all right. So here we go. This goes on. We have a lot of water. I'm going to squeeze the trigger. I feel the tension in my trigger, so it should be doing its job, okay? And I'm going to lift this up. Oh, my God. If that was glass up there, it would have been broken by now. I'm going to lift this up, and now what we're going to look for is water dripping out of this thing. You ready? Squeeze. Water's coming out. Oh, golly. Woo! Water's coming out. Water's coming out. Water is coming out. Okay? If the water didn't come out, my next step would have been to check the turbine. Okay? That would have been my next step, is to go to the turbine, which controls the brush. Let me see if this brush is turning, because let's say, I'll be honest with you, it could be something where the person don't know what's causing his carpet not to shampoo, and it could be that his brushes are not turning. So my next thing I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna check to see if the brush is turning. Okay? It may not be the water at all. It may be that his carpet is not cleaning because his brush is not turning. So the way you check for that is simple. The same way you check. Right? You just put your stuff on here. I don't need this water tank to check my brush. I just need the suction, the dirty water. That's the only thing I need to check my suction. So let me do this. I'm gonna now lift this up. Let me plug it in. All right. I had someone make a comment just now. Let me see who this person is here. And if there's a question I can answer for you. Hey, Hoover 123 says hi. Hey, it's me, Edward, the one who called about the Hoover smartwatch. Hey, Edward, what's happening, man? What's going on? How do you get that blue heart, bro? I only see the red ones. That's cool. Hey, thanks for the love, man. Okay. All right, so here we go. Let's check the brush. The moment I turn it on, the brush should start spinning. And I'll recline it to be safe, all right? Here we go. Because the recline, you know what the recline does? It opens a valve that lets air in. And I'm going to show you where it lets the air in. It helps rapid fire the brush, okay? So let me show you. There's a valve in the turbine assembly that it's allowed air to come in. And I'm going to show you where the filter is for it. Some of you already know, but for the rest of you, I'm going to show you. Isn't this awkward? Oh, my gosh. You ready? Let's see if this brush spins. I mean, so far, so good. So, in both of these cases today, we seem to be fine. Is that something? I mean, they came in for service. So, I'm going to go through the whole thing with the customer. I'm going to go through the whole thing, make sure everything is fine. I'm going to clean some things up. I'll charge them for diagnostic. But no, it wouldn't be fair for me to charge a full repair. I didn't repair anything. So, let me see. All right, but anyway, I'm almost done. Let me show you where the recline, okay? You know what? Do I have time? Oh my God. All right, let me show you. I have time, guys. I have time. I'm gonna show you how it works. I'm gonna show you how this recline works, and I'm done. Okay? Let me do some real work here today. let me do some work. Okay? We just been gaffing. All right, here we go. Watch this. Okay. This section here, when you recline this shampooer, it lets air into this section right here. You see that? You see how clogged up that is? Okay? What you do is you clean it out with something like, let me show you what, let me move all this stuff to the side. And it could be because when it hits the carpet, he loses the spin because it's not strong enough to, just like a belt that has a very loose belt. Like, let's say there's a lot of vacuum cleaners, right? That the belts are flat, okay? And if the belt is real loose, the more it'll spin if you turn it to the side and you look at it. You're like, oh yeah, the belt's turning, everything's fine. But the moment it hits the carpet, it doesn't have enough tension to turn. And this can cause that in a shampooer. You see all that crap that was covering the airflow? Okay? This stuff like that covering this can cause the air to stop coming in. All right? And if the air stops coming in, then the brushes are not turning, and then it's not going to scrub your carpet the way it's supposed to. So, you know, all right? But let me take this off, and I want to show you how that recline actually opens that flap. And then we're going to move on from there, guys, and then that's it. We're done. We're done, man. And I'll see you guys Saturday. And hopefully by Saturday, I have my new, you know who motivated me to get a new camera? Larry, I still haven't gotten the damn mic. I have a mic, Larry. Where is it at? I have a mic, a clip-on, but it works for the iPhone, right? So what I need to get is so I have one. You know, it has another end to it. You know, like you clip. You know what I'm talking about, right? Because you told me about it, right? I don't know if I will put it here, but so I had one of those, right? But it only works if I'm trying to use the phone outside, maybe, and a lot of noise or whatever. But because this is the one I'm using, right? When I'm shooting my videos, and then my videos were grainy. I was like, hey, dude, I can't see nothing, man. It's real grainy. It's like, Larry, man, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Because, they're haters that find fault just for the sport of finding fault. And then you have people who give you constructive criticism. And that's my boy, Larry, man. Okay? Sydney, because people are too fat and lazy. Damn, oh boy, don't you put it out there like that, right? People too. Oh no, I put fat on it. I'm sorry, guys. My bad. Larry never said that. Shame on you. Larry never said that. All he said was people are too lazy to fix. Okay, why buy another machine if you can fix it? You have one already. You know what, man? You know what happened? I don't know if it's so lazy, Larry. I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. It is lazy for a lot of folks, but for a lot of folks, they're conditioned, man. They're conditioned by a very powerful advertising juggernaut, right? Which is fine, all right? More power to you to advertise, right? But that conditioning sets in so much that, think about the people that just throw away an iPhone and get another one. They bought it 2 years ago. They bought it a year ago. It still works, right? And the new one comes out. They're like, hey, I gotta get the new iPhone. So they're in line for another iPhone. So they've been conditioned to just replace the last one, replace the last one, replace the last one, replace the last one. And then, mind you, there are companies that purposely, because of a business model, okay, and because of cheap materials and all the other stuff that goes along with that these machines are kind of, what's that word? Designed obsolescence, right? Or the term, designed obsolescence. So it was designed to be obsolete, designed for you not to find parts anymore, designed for you not to even want to repair. Some of the stuff is so advanced and so sleek, You can't even open it because the way they sealed it is, and which is good craftsmanship, I granted, but then they weren't building it for longevity. Okay, these older Kirby's like I just have here, these guys were built for longevity. That was old America right there. Okay, or just the old program. How's that? Because I'm sure Japan and all the other guys back in the day when they first started making Honda and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure they built their motorcycles to last a long time. You know, who were making vacuums back in the day? Germany was making vacuums back in the day. I'm not sure. Switzerland? I forgot that part. But anyway, they were built to last. So, and even back in the, with the rainbows and stuff like that. So the people are conditioned, man, and the companies make. You know, you buy a washing machine today. Look, I'm almost done, man. Let me take my damn thing apart because I'm talking like crazy. Let me show you what I'm doing. But I'm gonna explain to you. I had a washing machine that I bought when I first moved down here. I bought it from this Habitat of Humanities, right? They had a little store next to I had a business in the middle of town, and they had a store right next door, and the guy was cool with me and everything else. And he was like, "Hey, man, you know, I'm about to go take this so and so. You know, you interested in it?" I was like, "You know what? What's that? A washing machine? What? Yeah. How much? I'll give you the whole set." He gave me the whole set for $100. The dryer and the washing machine, $100. I bought it, and I had just moved here in 2003 or 2, and that thing was already old, and it lasted until 2018, 2019, something like that. And it wasn't because of a circuit board, because it didn't have any. The heating element I replaced once, but the body, it just couldn't. If I was desperate enough, I think I would have done it. The body, while it rotates around, it kept going. It kept coming out of the groove, and it was ripping my clothes. And I was like, you know, I had some stuff I really liked, and it destroyed it. And I was like, dude, you just crossed the line. I'm sorry, man. We were good until now. So I bought another washing machine. But the ones that are made today, I don't know, man. I think we sacrificed quality for technology advancement and stuff like that. I don't know. So we'll see. And with AI and robots and all that other stuff, who knows? These machines start repairing themselves. Put us out of business, Larry. Oh, man, Larry, I think you're going to do great, man. Larry's going to come out and let me know. I think I subscribed to your channel, Larry. I think you had some stuff that you were selling on there. I think eBay stuff or whatever. And I told some folks about your channel. And I think I subscribed to your channel. I'll double check it, but I found you on YouTube. I think you'll do great, bro. I think you'll do great. I think you'll do great. I think you should do it. I think you'll be great. And guess what? You don't got to be perfect, man. You know? You don't got to be perfect. I watched yesterday a video. I saw these kids. It works like a charm. These guys, 2 million views in like 5 days. And you know, guess what they were doing? Goofy stuff. You know, and I'm assuming the audience, children is probably the audience, but goofy stuff, man. And they didn't even look like they were rehearsing nothing. Maybe they rehearsed to look like they didn't rehearse, maybe. But they were just like, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to drink some real bitter stuff and real sour stuff. We're going to mix it together and drink it. And their friends are around them like, okay, let's try it. And they drink it. Like, oh, God. And they have the expression. And I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Holy cow, is this what I gotta do? And the kid says, yeah, maybe you should start smashing some vacuums, man. The little must have been 10 years old kid. He said, maybe you should start smashing vacuums, man, and have a show where you show the people what you do with vacuums you don't like. I was like, that's not, I don't know, man. That's not a bad idea, kid. So, Larry, you don't have to be perfect. There are people out there that watch people be natural. You know, I'm going to be changing my backgrounds and stuff like that. I'm going to get rid of all my stuff back here because it's just distracting. But there are people who just like the, you know, that you're just in your living room, or you're just in your garage, or you're just in the backyard, and you're just talking to them about whatever it is, and you're just doing it, and there's no professional looking studio. Some of them don't sound rehearsed, you know. So you never know who your audience is, you know. I'm learning that as I go. But hey, I support what you're doing, bro. Let me know, and I'll subscribe, and I'll watch your videos, my man. Okay? Just know that, all right? Here's the last thing, guys, before I close up shop. Okay, so you see the thing right here? You see this little knob right here? I'm not gonna be able to open it right now, but there's a reason for this. So when you recline, when you put it in an upright position, it closes. Hold on. Oh God. Here it is, right here. It closes this. Golly, damn. Okay? And what that's doing is that's closing a flap. Right now, it just closed the flap. So the flap won't allow any air into this section right here. Okay? And when it pulls back is when the flap is opened, and that's when the air comes in, and that's when this is even more excited to turn. And when this turns, there's a gear in here that turns. And when the gear turns, this turn. And then when this turns, the brush turns. So that's why this is so important. So that's why I said that maybe is, you know, if this was clogged up, it's a possibility that brush was losing a lot of its power when it hits the carpet. Okay? And that's it. I hope I explained this stuff properly, guys. One last thing for shampoo users, and I'm out of here. One last thing. Let me show you something. You see how this is sealed up? Where's it at? You see how it's sealed up right there? Okay. Sometimes, guys, these shampooers, they lose. Look at here, right here. This is the seal. They get crack. They crack right in here. I haven't seen it much with this. I saw it more with other shampooers. The old Bissell 2X was like that. It was just split the top of the, and there are people that thought it was intact because it looks intact, right? It still had a plastic, but it had the backside of it. And they're like, man, it's not picking up. I don't know what's going on. Why is it not picking up? And I look at it, I said, oh man, you need a whole new nozzle window. Your window, one piece of your window fell off. And you know how it falls off? When you shampoo them back and forth like this, and eventually it pulls the front cover off because the adhesive or the heat that they used to seal this off wore out, or it just broke, or you know, maybe you pulled against a carpet, something hard, and you yanked it, and it just break it apart. Okay, so when you're testing for suction, sometimes you have to see if you have a leak here. Okay, and the way I do it, I'm gonna show you what I do even with the tank. I'm gonna show you what I do with the tank, folks, and hopefully you get this. And this is my last little tip I'm gonna give you before I go. This is important. So if you're still here for this, this is important. You're gonna try this, okay? Watch this. I'm gonna put this back. I'm not gonna nail it in because I mean screw it in because I can't. But I wanna show you something because sometimes people's tank is a problem. All right, and it comes from sometimes from hot water. It comes from a weak adhesive. A lot of different things can cause it. But I want to show you what I mean. Give me a second. Let me just sit this on here for a second. I'm gonna put this on, and I want to show you a technique that I use to check suction when the tank, when I suspect the tank is the problem. Okay, watch. So I'm gonna put the tank on. Okay, and I'm gonna do something that I see a lot of people do with their shampoos, and they don't realize they do it. Okay? What I just did was I created a gap in the shampoo right here. You see that little gap? Okay. And all you do when you suspect the shampoo tank is the problem, okay? Get a plastic bag. Okay? Give me a second. I'm gonna get a plastic bag. Get a plastic bag. All right? Okay? Get a plastic bag like this. Turn the shampoo on, right? And just do like this. And see if it pulls the bag in, okay? Let me show you. Oh. Okay? If your tank pulls the bag in, that's where your suction is escaping. Okay? That's what happens. Man, my glasses don't look. I look like Chuck Schumer, right? No. My bad. Hey, what? Don't mind me, guys. Just having fun. For years, I had 20/20 until I started watching movies, and my head would hurt, like right up here. And I'm like, damn, my head's hurting. All of a sudden, I needed glasses. But that's it. Folks, thank you. You guys are awesome. Hey, man, thanks for hanging with me, Larry. Larry, thank you for the shot. Oh, yeah, man. Yes, I did. I can pin. Yeah, please do. Send it to me anyway. I saw a person not buy a vacuum cleaner at the Goodwill bin because they needed a belt. Well, that's the lazy guy. I'm not saying those people don't exist, Larry. I'm just saying that a lot of us are conditioned to throw things away. But yeah, you're right. There are a lot of lazy folks out there. I work with a lot of lazy people. Always trying to get over. Always try to find the easiest possible way out. If you don't learn hard work early, like my son cuts grass. I have to, because I can't afford for them not to. I can't, and I'm ranting right now, but I can't afford for my kids to be victims in their mind, okay? Because the culture that people identify me with, how's that? A lot of people have latched on to this attitude of, woe's me, this happened 1,000 years ago, and because of that, I can't succeed today. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I can't, listen, I can't have my kids buying into this shit. No, learn how to fix it, learn how to repair it, learn how to make it right, learn how to study, learn how to pass your tests, learn how to work out, learn how to do all the stuff you got to learn how to do to succeed. Forget about this blaming other people, and don't be lazy. Because laziness is going to make you find an excuse you want that you like, and you're going to keep using that excuse because you're lazy. Because your real thing is you're lazy. But then what you do now to hide your laziness is to come up with an excuse. And I'm not down for that. If I failed, I failed. If my business is not succeeding, it's okay. Maybe I'm in the wrong oh my God, the wrong niche. It could be that. It could be the way I market. It could be the way my store looks. It could be the way I'm not aggressive enough. But I am not blaming, I'm a man. That's why I'm bald. That's why I'm black. That's why I'm tall. That's why I'm not none of that crap. Okay. And if enough of our folks, white, black, and otherwise, get that understanding, there's, but no. I mean, we're human, and unfortunately, we're gonna always find a path of least resistance, and you have to continue to fight yourself from being lazy. And it's hard to fight laziness, and it's so easy to say, I'm not gonna buy that because it needs a belt. Oh man. Oh man, I can't succeed because why? I bet you it's because I'm black. That's why the lady did. No, maybe because your interview sucked. Maybe because your qualifications are not good. Maybe because you just haven't closed this lady. And it could be that. It could be because she's biased. But then, okay, let's move on next. And the next one, ooh, man, I'm gonna catch them in the door. They're gonna love me, baby, because enough. I'm not gonna go down like that. That attitude is what was drilled into me, and I have to drill into my kids. Okay, and I hope some folks grab onto it. Anyway, I'm done with the ranting. That's my soapbox. If you notice my what do you call that? My thumbnail has a soapbox. That's me in the soapbox. That's me just yamp whatever comes to my mind while I'm doing a video. Just be prepared for that. I might do one of these. I might be talking about some tax policy or whatever. Who knows? But guys, you guys are the best. Thank you for coming by. Larry, send me that link. And Sydney, I hope you come back, man. Okay? And Hoover 123. Please see me again. Come back. And we'll have some fun next time. Hopefully more people join us. All right, you guys are the best. Hey, do me a favor, guys. Can everybody just hit a like on the video? And I don't know, man, like share it somewhere. That's gonna help me out. I appreciate it. All right, you don't have to, but if you were my friend, you would. I'll see you later.